Of the floor, number one, we're gonna move you up the agenda, Chris and Deb, so you can tell us a little bit about the music festival proposal. I think everybody got a copy of that. Got
Yes.
a chance to look at
I
it.
have extras here if anybody needs them. Okay, good.
Do we need to acknowledge who we are for the record, or doesn't matter?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm Chris Beerbrier, resident of Waterville Valley and co-chair of the Ray Center.
Deb Kositz, Executive Director of the New Hampshire Music Festival.
Okay.
Briefly, the Music Festival has been working the last few years to get strong, and I'm actually very happy to report that we have just become debt-free.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that is
Just,
wonderful.
just happened like an hour and a half ago, so I'm a little giddy. And I haven't had a drink yet. I mean, and that's really saying something. So it's an extraordinary thing for the music festival, but we're on a really good path, and a lot of that is attributable to the folks in Waterville and Campton and Thornton and this area that have been great supporters of the festival, and as we've been trying to partner with different organizations to create experiences for people, we've just continued to build our audience. And so that's how Chris came to us at a function and thought that July 4th concert would be a very cool thing for Waterville Valley. And it is something that we have pitched to other organizations. And so we were somewhat ready with a proposal, because in order to do something of the scale that we had, that you would want in Waterville, that would go alongside of your fireworks activities and other events for the day, you need to have a great big space, and you need to have all of the technology and then all of the logistics involved in putting on a big concert with 65 musicians, and making sure that you've got cover and all of that. There are these companies now that have self-contained trailers where they bring it up here, and all they need is a power source and the right space, and that sort of drops open, and it includes the staff, includes the lighting, all the technology, the overhang, all of the acoustic sort of pieces that we would need to make sure that it's a great musical experience. And so we think we're in a great place to offer that kind of a concert, and that it would marry really well with what we had learned over the last few years folks in Waterville have been trying to do, which is create opportunities for people who are here in the winter to know that there's a great summer opportunity, and vice versa. And for us, we want to be playing in more places, and to be able to do a July 4th event would be terrific for us. So Chris went and sort of talked to some very important people to begin to get a feel for stakeholders in the area that are really interested in making this happen. And we've been working together to figure out what's going to take to raise the money to do this. We need to know by January 5th, when we contract our musicians for the summer, whether or not next 2018 is a go. And we would like to have it be an annual event, and we know from feedback from the community that there are a lot of folks that are very interested. Well, I don't know if there's a lot. I mean, there are a number of people who have capacity who are interested in seeing that if we go forward with an event like this, that it become an annual event and be seen as sort of the place for people to come for July 4th. And of course, the town's participation and interest in supporting it is really important to other stakeholders. So we hope to answer whatever questions you may have. I'm happy to give you as much detail as you may want about what it would take to execute this, but I think is that enough information?
So the thought would be to put this stage on Packard Field?
I believe so, yes.
Right.
Could I have Brooke get a copy of the, do you have,
Hi there.
have you seen
Hi,
it?
I did look it over by email, but
Yeah,
you are
Brooke-
Wakefield, the recreation director.
Oh, hi, Brooke.
Nice to meet you.
I mean, it would be very important, obviously, for
Sure.
our 4th of July activities and the field day that we do and all of that
That it's all
we make sure that we
It's all
coordinate
coordinated.
everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I
Right.
did look it over. over and, you know, at first look, it doesn't, you know, there's nothing that would overlap.
Nothing that jumps out at you.
No,
from
it's
your
like it was fit in
perspective.
beautifully.
Okay.
One, Chris, and you might be able to comment on this. One concern would be that they would be erecting this stage the same day.
Well, it comes in a,
Whether, we have restrictions because of the fireworks, right? In terms of that road has gotta get closed at some point in time, right?
Yeah, Packett's Field should be affected though.
You don't, Packett's Field to be all right, though?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so that's
Great
not an issue.
question. I think I don't know that we put in exactly the hour that they'd come up, but we'd probably be coming up, they'd probably be coming up in the morning to,
I would
Right.
think.
cause it would take getting it all set and then rehearsing a little bit. I mean, not
Yeah.
really rehearsing, but, you know,
Yeah.
just sound check.
So we have, the parade
Parade staging,
at
which
11.
usually only uses about a quarter of the field, so I don't know where you're thinking in terms of Packard Field and what end of it, but that's the only thing.
So probably at
The
the far
far
end.
Closer to.
You have to be
town
close enough to the electrical
Right.
Your power
service,
source,
and,
yeah.
and we will wanna check the power service to make sure that it's sufficient. We'll need some specifications on the
Right.
power requirements
Yeah,
to
I'm
make
assuming
sure
we can
that
find a
that
way around
box,
though.
because it's just a couple of plugs, right? It's
Well,
not a, it's not a
You're
three-phase
gonna probably have to rent a generator and
or something.
run some
So if,
serious
you know, if there's
power.
a,
Maybe they
if there's a sort of a general support for the idea, we would absolutely, we'd
Yeah,
have to
we'd
come
have to-
and really look
yeah.
at the
Right.
space
That's right.
and,
Yeah.
you know, we'd coordinate with, these guys do this all over the place.
Mhm.
We were talking to Shaker Village about, you know, doing something there, or Castle in the Clouds, so it's
Mhm.
similar kind of space.
Yeah, there was also some concern expressed about, Packard's Field is not always solid.
Ah.
It
It
can
might
be
be weather-
Rain is
it-
always
it-
a problem.
It could
Yeah.
be weather dependent. We do have,
Yeah.
drainage on that field is not tremendous. So if we had a lot of rain leading up to the 4th or something, that could become an issue. So,
Is that where people
we
sit
should-
for fireworks?
and people do sit there for fireworks, so
And
There's a
Even
little-
if it's wet?
Your thinking would
Oh,
be that these would be people with lawn chairs,
Yeah.
you know,
Lawn chairs, blankets?
Blankets.
blankets.
It's kinda like if you've
provide
been to
seating.
or you've seen on, TV, the 4th of July concert.
Right.
Same kind of,
Yeah.
Esplanade.
Right.
yeah, the Esplanade. So I think what we were thinking.
I think
I
it
know
would behoove
one
us
of the
to have a
concerns
backup.
that Mike
A
has
backup
expressed.
date
Whether either a backup date
Or a backup plan?
or a backup area that we could potentially go to if weather became an issue.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you imagine
Yeah.
one, just knowing the,
no, well, not
Ice
without,
arena,
the ice arena is a potential
if they're not.
if they don't have ice in.
yeah.
I know you
have
want
an
it
ice
to be
arena up here?
outdoors, but
Well,
But,
it's,
Yeah, you'd have-
you could hold, I don't think the doors on that open anymore,
Oh, they
right?
don't?
In the old
They used
days,
to.
they used to, right?
Right.
But
Well,
I don't
but-
think you can open up the ice arena anymore, right?
There's an overhead door.
there's an overhead door where the
Equipment.
Zamboni
I mean,
goes in and
the
out.
Yeah, but I
Warrior-
meant at one time, that whole wall.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
along
you
the
can't open
side
those
where
anymore,
the,
No,
used
we
to
can't
open
open
up, but,
But as far as getting the stage in and out, there are groups that go in there with large stage setups.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we,
have
that
to
could
take a
be,
look
The
at
ice
grade.
is
It's a
in or not.
possibility.
it depends on whether or not their plan is to have the ice in for the 4th of July, and I don't know that they're gonna do that this year, so, coming, so I
It's
don't.
like skiing in Dubai.
The tennis center could maybe be
The tennis center would be another potential backup,
It's where
I
they
mean-
had the Trump rally,
where that,
when Trump came to town.
Oh,
They
oh.
had
It's
to-
a
You
really
mean-
large.
inside?
The
Inside
indoor-
tennis
indoor,
center.
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
indoor.
yeah, okay.
so,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there are a few other spots that we could, and these would be only contingencies.
Right.
If the weather was really bad or we couldn't use Packard's Field for some reason.
now, I know Mike expressed a concern that it's a Wednesday,
Yeah,
that this is not the ideal day to start. July 4th falls on a Wednesday.
Yep.
So it is not, from our perspective, the best day. I mean, we would attract lots of people from, Holderness, Plymouth, Campton, but people that are, you know,
The
aren't gonna come
weekend,
up.
the
weekend
weekend
people aren't
crowd
gonna be
is
here.
not gonna be,
Yeah, Wednesday, Fourth
As
of July, traditionally, we lose a lot of volume when it falls on a
Yeah.
Wednesday, right?
yeah.
Yep, it is difficult.
Wednesday is the worst day.
Worst day.
Even this
yeah.
year when it was on a Tuesday, a lot of
It's a
people
little
didn't
bit.
stick
Yeah.
around for
Yeah.
the
And
fireworks.
and you
They
can't
went
move
home.
your fireworks.
We prefer not to, because if we
Could we
do,
move the fireworks? I don't think we could do it this year because you're already committed. Could we move them permanently? The answer to that question is yes. But, you
But-
know, if we
but-
We
chose
could
the
do
weekend
it,
to
actually
do
it'd be
on-
better for us, if we can get our musicians, it would be better for us to do it on the weekend too.
You
It'd
would
have to be the
rather-
following weekend, not the previous week.
Right, yeah, the following weekend,
Yeah,
right.
a
'cause you
Saturday
shorten the
would be
stay.
fine.
And I don't
Right.
know, yeah, I don't know nationally what's the observed, is it gonna be the 2nd or
4th of
Is it
July
gonna
is
be
the
Isn't
the
it
fourth.
usually the
6th?
day after?
is it gonna be the 6th this year?
4th of July, I believe is the 4th, right? I don't think they move it. It's the one holiday that actually falls
No.
on the
Oh,
day
right.
it belongs.
No.
And
It
I think
is,
that's
it's
it.
on the
But
day.
But
yeah.
companies-
Carnival is
But-
outside of, so it's actually, I think we're banking on, just from history, we're banking on the fact
The
that people are
weekend
gonna be
after.
coming the weekend after.
Yeah.
Cause we're doing
Yeah.
our carnival on that weekend and, cause
I
we have to
see.
choose, but
Yeah, yeah.
historically, April.
It's been the weekend
has
after.
been the weekend
Okay.
after.
but the story on the fireworks is that they've always been on the
Right,
4th of
right, I
July up
understand,
here,
yeah.
and if we give that up,
Yep. No, I
we
hear
may
you.
never get it back.
Right.
We-
So there was a, you know, maybe it's an unrealistic wish, but there was a wish to sort of see it
See
as
it
part
together,
of, you know,
yeah.
to do the 1812 overture, to have the fireworks,
Right.
to
Yeah.
sort of do that,
Right.
and have that sort of culturally be something that people could really enjoy, but, you know,
It's really up to sort of how y'all wanna see it.
And I think Mike was talking about it from the sense of trying to get it started.
Right.
That he wouldn't want you to put a whole lot of effort into it, and because it was a Wednesday, just not have the turnout. Because we know that
Yeah. No,
it's
that's
going to be a
important.
low
Yeah.
turnout day.
right, yeah,
Right.
No, that
with
makes
it
sense.
being Wednesday, so that's what he
Mhm,
was saying.
that's
Right.
what he was saying,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
It wouldn't be a
possible?
good, it
wouldn't be a good start.
day, right, that Wednesday.
So eventually, it could coincide, if we wanted to make it coincide on you know, on certain years with the 4th of July,
Yeah,
that could happen.
absolutely, and like when it's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Yeah.
Those 4 years, it's great because it's a natural
Right, right.
3-day weekend,
right.
and sometimes
Right.
it turns into a 4-day weekend
Yep.
if it's on the
Even
weekend itself.
Thursday
Yeah,
and
even
Tuesday work,
Thursday and
because
Tuesday
people
are-
just take that
Right,
day
sort
of
of
Right,
vacation.
it's just the
Right.
Wednesday.
Wednesday is the
Yeah.
problem.
So, and you had mentioned that there might be some dam work being done on Packersfield that you might
Well,
need
not
to
on
get done next,
Packersfield.
or nearby, or
Yeah.
It's gonna, not on Packersfield, it's gonna be at the pond,
I
and
don't,
we're
think-
we're aiming at the shoulder seasons,
Oh, good.
so,
Good,
and primarily the fall, so
Good.
we're not
okay.
so that wouldn't be an
So
issue.
that won't be a
That's not-
deterrent.
gonna be
no, I don't think so.
an issue.
So then it would just be on the weekend then? Would we be
Yeah,
able to do
I mean,
that?
we're, at
So
this point,
from the standpoint of managing because I'm always concerned about costs of everything.
Oh.
From the standpoint of managing costs, it would be better if we actually held this on a weekend?
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, okay.
We need to raise the funds to
Right,
do this.
regardless.
Right,
And so it's not a ticketed event,
Right.
you're offering this to your community, I mean,
and the
Right.
communities outside
Right,
of
to the wider
And the
community,
wider
right, yeah,
community.
because most of the people coming in for fireworks
sure.
come in from Campton.
so then the
Right.
question is whether there are more promotion opportunities for your vendors, for your businesses, or locally within the resort. That's, the marketing opportunities are great, for sure. So for 18 then, it sounds like it may not be a great choice for 18 because it's
No.
Wednesday. But that if we all feel good about shooting for 19, starting on a Thursday, and then that gives us all time to plan for promoting it,
And
That's right.
As I read
Right,
your
getting our
proposal, you're
activities.
looking for a donation from the town.
definitely.
That's right.
See, that's the other problem we have, is the only way we can raise town money is through town meeting.
Yeah,
That's after January.
yeah.
But we could ask
Money
for money
now.
now to be
Mhm.
spent in
18,
nineteen.
to be spent in
Okay.
19.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we definitely, it's key, you know, it's key for the town
Right,
and we,
you'd have some
And
continuity
then you
over that.
know the town's portion
right,
going
Right.
into January of 19
Correct.
when
And
you're
then,
planning.
and we would have the money raised well before that, because we'd have
Right.
to.
now we, you know, we have to approach, I think, the mountain, the resort
Right,
as well. I mean, in my mind, if they won't support this, I'm not sure we're gonna get philanthropy beyond what we've gotten, a few small pieces of philanthropy and the town's support. And, you know, in my mind, I would hope that they would see the benefit for the mountain, for the resort, and I think we're reaching out to them now.
Yeah, I've already reached out to them, and I've had previous conversations with, well, certainly with Chris Sununu and Peter and Matt Hesser, and when 3 years ago when we were really trying to figure out how we could bring more music to the valley, and we brought chamber music. We brought a brass quintet up, I think, right now, so I did reach out to Chris.
is there any possibility of getting any state support?
Well,
I have to check in with the tourism, probably the tourism agency. The State Council on the Arts would be very tough. And I think we for the amount of money that we'd get out of it, we could probably get it from other sources
Okay,
more quickly. But I think the tourism agency may,
yeah, Margaret, you
they
had
may
mentioned
have.
that maybe tourism might be.
They,
a way
I mean, they gave money to our resort association for several years to market the resort.
they did.
Right.
They was, for years, they would, I think every year
Now, I
they
don't know
got-
whether that fund is dried
Well,
up.
I
or-
don't know where, neither do I don't even
Yeah.
know if they still get it.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was for
JPP.
building websites, I mean, Resort
Yeah.
Association, do they still get a grant from the state?
We do, it was cut last year,
Right,
which affected our marketing budget, but I'm not sure if that money could be used for this type of thing.
JPP funding can't, but it doesn't mean that resort
Right.
association money
Right,
couldn't be.
yeah, specifically
used.
GPP, no, but I think
Right.
Resort Association, and I
Right.
definitely think I would,
Yeah, Brooke is on the
Oh,
Resort
She's on the
Association.
resort
Yeah,
board.
she's
Oh, great.
representing the town on the Resort Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe one of the next steps is to get the mountain and the town and, you know, the race center, all
I
the
think we've got to
stakeholders.
go talk to the Resort Association
Okay.
about this.
Yeah.
I know that the mountain pretty much in the summer is not the driver of tourism here. And the question is, do all the other venues, the hotels, the the restaurants, do they see value in trying to drive an event like this in? Because I think they've got to be an integral part of this. Because to really make this worth the town's while, I mean, we've got to be able to fill the town up over the 4th of July weekend. And I think that's more Resort Association than it is anything, right? Yeah?
Mhm.
I definitely think you should pitch the Resort Association. I can let you know when the next meeting is and.
Okay.
More than the,
Is
more
Matt
than the
Hesser
ski
still in
mountain.
Yeah.
charge of
He's
it?
still, yes, he's still the
Well,
president.
Okay.
So, you
Yes,
reached
an
out,
email from me.
he has,
Okay.
yeah, he,
And it's specific to Resort Association? I would just be specific about
Tim
that.
and him, right?
Right, but Tim is the resort, and Matt, in his capacity as the president of the Resort Association, I just think you should have those be two separate
Two
tasks.
separate
Okay, I put it
conversations.
together,
Yeah.
but I mean, I've had conversations with him over the years, so I would think he could make that leap.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I
can-
think-
can
I think
also-
he could too.
I can
Supportive,
also-
it would be
And I'll
helpful
forward you the email.
Yeah,
to try to get a
Right.
warrant article to,
yeah,
because,
and I can go to
create
that
some
meeting.
funding.
and-
I think
Right.
there are certainly funds for
And
something like
Yeah.
this.
we
I don't
thought
know
we
about
could maybe go
20,000,
to
but I know
the,
there are funds for something like
Waterville
this.
Foundation as well,
yeah, I would.
yeah. So we've raised, 20,000 and we need 65,000.
65.
So, you know, there are other people that we'll approach that are, you know, members of the community, but, you know, one family I approached said, you know, we were involved years ago with music here in the valley and it never really took off and we wanna know that there's a commitment to really making this something. I don't think people are gonna, give money for a one-time event. They wanna know that this commitment, I feel there is, but, I think this meeting is important.
So we'll, Brooke and I can go to if Matt has the information already, Brooke and I can go to the next Resort Association meeting
Great,
and talk to them about it, at least to start the conversation. We'll talk as part of the budget discussions about what we wanna do for the 2018 town meeting, if anything, and then we can just continue
Yeah,
on that
I-
way.
okay.
and
But I
plan
think
it
we have it
we'll
as-
do it for 2019,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
it's we have no capacity to
That's
raise
right.
money
no,
between now and January 1st.
Understood.
Right.
None,
Understood.
zero, right?
That's
And if it goes on a warrant article, you have a very definite feedback from the community, and
That's
also
right.
the
Absolutely.
community can modify the
can
amount
modify the amount.
Right.
And
as
there was-
part of discussion of the warrant article. If they wanted to go higher or lower,
Right.
they can do so during the discussion.
Right.
So this will be a warrant article.
Well, no,
Well,
we'll-
depending on-
I think we should do that. We should allow the town to make a choice, do they want to expend money on this?
We
Rather
did that
than
with the
burying it in
50th
the budget.
anniversary.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
it with the
Sure.
50th anniversary.
Now, I've never seen have they ever turned anything down? Just once. One time.
They turned
there
down a
was warrant.
sign.
They
Blinking
did,
sign,
they turned
speed
down,
sign.
they turned down a road
They
sign, that's the
turned
only
down
thing
sign
I
on the
think
school.
Yeah.
So
ever defeated.
usually they're,
and now everyone thinks we should have one, so.
But it's such a great opportunity to create
Yeah.
buzz about
Yeah.
it, right? And to
Right.
get people excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
it's all
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
really
seems like
wonderful.
it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll include it in the proposed budget and
yeah,
we'll go from there.
Great.
Thank you
Great.
very
Thank you so
much.
Thanks, great.
thank you.
Did you have an amount in mind? I didn't ask you that.
I thought it
think
was on
it's
the
in
sheet.
the-
It was
it's on the
10,000.
sheet.
What do you mean, for you guys? At least
10,000.
10,000,
Yeah.
at least.
All right.
More would be better.
20 would be good.
Yeah.
Well.
It really would, because I think we,
Whatever you want.
There are people holding back to see what you do.
yeah, seriously,
Well,
Thank you very much. Happy
it's not
holidays.
what we do, it's what the,
Voters
well,
do.
yeah,
I think to see the commitment of
right.
You know, again, I
the
think,
community.
I think that people really enjoyed the community event of the 50th anniversary.
Right.
And we definitely have people that have been asking, we ought to do something like that on a regular basis, so.
Right.
This could work then,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
It worked.
And there are a lot of people around who remember back in the old days when there were all kinds of events, large events being held here. And-
There were music concerts here that
Indeed.
had
Yeah.
10,000 people.
Yep,
Coming.
so that,
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
do the
right,
mountain.
well, I mean,
Up at the mountain, they lost money hand over fist, but
But
my God, we had them.
they did have rock concerts in
And
here,
people
the
loved
Russians
it, so
packed
that,
the
yeah.
place.
yeah,
Chubby Checker played there.
You're
Was it,
kidding.
I don't remember Chubby
Neil-
Checker. I
Neil-
Ray
remember-
Charles
Ray
was
They
Charles.
had
here.
all
Ray
of them.
Charles.
Ray Charles, yeah.
Judy
Ray
Collins.
Charles?
Ray
Ray
Charles.
Charles was here.
Okay, y'all
Yeah.
are hiding a
Neil
lot.
Diamond.
Neil Diamond,
Diamond.
Judy Collins.
Yeah.
What?
I just saw Judy Collins down in New York City. Yeah.
She's in Concord.
That's
Did
fantastic.
she?
Yeah, she's playing
See,
Concord.
bring it all
It's a
back.
good
Right.
show.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Yeah,
holidays.
happy holidays. Alrighty, back to our agenda. I don't see any more privilege of the floor, so we will move on to the minutes of November 29th. I see a small typo, Sharon, down to line 27. Line 27, all departments. Yeah.
and 29 filled out. Also question,
Probably questioned, right?
questions, yes.
are we still current?
Did you get your story down?
Yeah, no, I'm,
Did we re-up? If we didn't, we should. sleeping with my eyes open.
I don't see any other changes that I would propose.
All right, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll
the-
make a motion to approve the minutes
As
as
amended.
amended.
I'll second that, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, financial update,
None because of the budget.
because
Going
the
on.
budget,
Yeah.
we're financially updating every
Financially,
day.
we're updating all the time.
Okay, anything, Brooke?
Nothing major to report, just that we have all of our planning in place for the vacation weeks and wrapping up the year. Nothing really special to report.
When is the school's last day,
They have
elementary school?
I think Thursday. They have Friday the 22nd off.
Okay,
Thursday's their last day.
They're back the second.
and they're back the second,
Yes.
all right.
Okay. They have
Oh,
they have a
what-
Christmas concert coming
They
up.
actually, is that last night? Was it?
I don't know.
I think, oh no, or
It
no,
would've
it's
been
this
last
coming,
night.
it's this coming Monday night. It's this coming Monday night. And another, fun thing is that Nelson and the after-school program is collaborating with the Ray Center to take the kids Christmas caroling on Thursday,
Oh, very
tomorrow,
nice.
which is kind of fun. new.
Yeah,
So if you wanna be a stop,
Yeah,
it's actually, he needs to know by Friday if you wanna be a stop, and I think it's next week they're doing it.
next week, yes.
Yeah. So if you wanna be a stop, just email Nelson, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, Nelson just sent out that email today, and,
And that's on the 21st, that they're, Thursday, the 21st.
Thursday the 21st.
Okay.
Yes,
So tell them town hall wants to.
town hall, okay. I mean, we assumed we did.
Yes.
But I think it's kind of a neat thing. that
Yes,
all-
we do. Chris is back there making
Of course you
faces.
do, and he's, sort of the invitation is going out to all people to join if they want, and
Yeah.
we're expecting no one's really gonna wanna do that. Nelson and Amanda are
Margaret,
gonna have to
oh.
know all the
I'm
words.
not gonna be in town,
Oh.
sorry.
Aw, because
I
the
would
kids don't know
go,
how to
you're right.
You would.
write.
They don't know how to
They
read.
don't know how to read, so
So you
it's
gotta
gonna be
whisper
kind of
in
a
their ear.
challenge.
Yeah.
We'll have to
They
choose a
gotta
couple of songs that they know really
Rehearse,
well.
yeah.
But I think it'll be a nice thing to do.
Good.
All right, Chris, public
Um,
safety?
just,
Oh, sorry.
for recreation, some feedback. So
Yes.
some positive, some not so positive. I've had a couple of people in the last week comment about Nelson, that they think he does just an absolutely terrific job. So that in terms of running events there, so let him know that
Yes.
some people think he's doing a terrific job. I've had some people complaining about cycling, and I'm not exactly sure what their complaint is, and I tell them, go see Brooke,
Right.
We fixed it.
you know,
We
and there's
fixed it.
nothing I can do about it.
No, we
Right.
got the
Okay.
same,
Just so
we
you
got
know.
the same feedback and
All
we
right.
fixed it.
And I've
Fine.
actually heard a lot of that feedback via email, and it's actually a combination of positive feedback that we love it, but we want,
Right, more of
Okay.
it.
More
Yeah,
of it
so it's-
and,
it's
and
actually-
improvements.
yes, it's something we can easily meet.
Okay,
And we're
good,
gonna do that before the
All
end
right.
of the year.
gotcha.
Great,
Thank you. I will make sure to pass that on to Nelson.
all
Yeah,
right. Chris, public
We're,
safety.
digging out, probably not as busy as Jim digging out, but we're digging out, and,
How many fire hydrants is it you have to dig out?
we have 82.
Yeah.
But Jim picks up the slack when he catches up to us. We
Mhm.
go out and start, and then when Jim gets ready, he'll come out and.
he takes the plow and knocks them over, right?
We
Don't
try to
give
go
him any
easy
ideas.
So we can find 'em. So we try to get the crucial ones to start, and then, we work together to get them, so it's a big help. And then other than that, it's just year-end stuff and getting ready for the vacation weeks.
You wanna touch on engine 2 repairs?
Oh, yeah, there was a few more significant repairs that were discovered when they had the truck apart.
Okay,
So it's about $5,000 more than the original one, but it's legitimate repairs. He sent pictures of the leaf springs that were broken and bending the wrong way, just stressed out, need to be replaced, and the brake shoes are all cracked.
And-
So
and when do
we
you
did
think you
this
get the
within-
truck back in service?
hopefully in another 2 weeks.
Okay,
And we did this all within our budget number.
Right,
something
but,
like
so you're gonna go through Christmas week without the truck?
Yeah, but that's fine. Campton is on a automatic call.
Okay,
On every call we have, so we'll be fine. And we have the ladder that can serve as a second engine, so.
right.
Alrighty. Jim, are you awake?
Just digging out.
Yeah, just digging
You
out,
noticed
right.
it snowed.
I did, yes.
It wasn't one of those little nuisance storms either, was it?
No, it was not, and actually this was a kind of a nice storm. This was like what I call an 8 to 5 storm. You know,
Yeah.
we got a lot of snow in a kind of a short period of time. Nobody had to stay all night, even though we got out about 11 last night, back in
And it didn't rain on
at
it or
6.
get wet or.
Didn't rain, and it didn't take 30 some odd hours to get 5 inches.
Right,
You know, so it was a good storm. All the equipment worked well. The new guy seems to be working out pretty well. So hopefully, if we can get them like that, I won't complain about plowing.
Okay. Alrighty, calendar review.
The only thing on the calendar is, your next meeting is currently scheduled for the 27th. So, you know,
right.
we have typically not met the week in between Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
So do you wanna just postpone that to the 3rd of January?
Yeah,
There's nothing
I
year-end,
think so.
department heads, there's nothing that we need to,
I will have a conflict if we wanna stay at 3 o'clock. I'm guessing I would not be back 1:30, 2:30, 3,
could you do the?
3:30, on the 3rd.
Okay,
I mean, I'm not sure I'd be here at 3 o'clock, that's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
Is
You
the
can start
4th
without me.
is the 4th easier?
Yeah, the 4th is a lot easier on a Thursday, but,
Does
you
that
know,
work?
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
speak
that's
for you.
fine.
Why don't
Yeah.
we go with Thursday the 4th at 3 o'clock?
Okay,
And I'll email Mike.
And Mark, again, when is the town employee event?
That is the 22nd
Another one
Right.
I'm gonna
at
miss.
11
Okay.
11
AM.
a.m.
at the Silver Fox.
Okay.
Early eaters.
Early eaters, because we gotta get out of her way.
Well, I forget they get up early, right?
Okay, new business, we've taken care of the music festival proposal. The resort bus system.
Well, Mike, I really wanted to get Mike's input, but the Resort Association and the lodges have reviewed the bus agreement and have signed it and are, I guess, moving forward with it. I provided you with a copy in a prior email. Yes, did you?
So percentage-wise, how
see
much is it gonna?
Percentage-wise, it's like a 5% increase.
I don't
It's
have
just
to-
a small increase. It isn't like their major. Yeah.
I'm
So
not-
it's like
fine.
55,000 now or something?
55, yeah, instead of the 53. So I didn't think that it was a big deal, but I just wanted to give Mike the
And the
opportunity
agreement
to
is
talk
a
to you.
one-year agreement?
It is. It's a one-year
Okay.
agreement.
I'm fine.
Okay, I'm fine with that too.
And do you have any input as far as the buses are concerned? Are you getting what you need from, I mean, we pay additional with
the
Brook
camp, yeah.
renting.
I don't ever get
buses.
any kind of quotes or, you know,
No, it's pretty much what,
they just
Yeah.
charge whatever they charge.
Yeah.
So I don't see any increases or anything. I mean, that would be nice to know, but so far they haven't done that.
well, the increase that I'm talking about is just in our annual
Yeah, I
contribution.
get that, but I mean, I
Right.
don't ever see any kind of contractor increase notification. But
I can ask
Yeah.
Tim that we
I think
get
that
that.
would be nice.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I think it changed too.
You mean like a rate sheet?
Yeah, like, 'cause they just give her an invoice
Yeah.
that says,
Just
X
a
amount
random-
for X
could
amount
be
of
anything.
hours.
Yeah, I'll just ask him for a rate sheet for 2018 for the rec. Okay, we'll do that. But that's all I had, it wasn't not a big deal.
Okay, Corcoran Pond Dam update. Need to get some good news into the record here.
All the news is good news. The Dam Bureau and the Haley and Aldrich engineers came and met at the dam last week. The Haley and Aldrich engineers did a thorough survey. They went inside the building, went downstairs and looked at the foundation and made sure that they understood the existing conditions. They
This is over
looked at,
where
this is over at the dam.
Legends?
We're behind Legends and downstairs from the Nordic Center.
Okay,
We walked all around the dam. The Dam Bureau staff were there on site. And Wright Pierce, Ryan from Wright Pierce Engineers was
Right.
there with the 50% plan. They talked about that layout. Actually, after about a half an hour, 45 minutes, Haley and Aldrich engineers have some ideas to potentially shrink the footprint of the articulated concrete block down from what
Okay.
we proposed, and the DES people were amenable to that. They have some additional flow calculations that they owe back to DES. But there were no surprises, nothing that the engineers or the Dam Bureau folks said absolutely not, we can't do that. So we talked in general terms about the budget, and they've done a lot of these projects in New Jersey and New York state, and the $500,000 approximate costs are realistic, they felt. I mean, they do wanna do the detailed
Right.
flow analysis, but there was nothing from there looking at the situation on the ground that said to them, no, it's gonna cost
When would they,
substantially more.
when can they give us a budget estimate
They-
prior to?
They owe us a budget estimate by January, we talked about that. They're gonna get us something by January 19th.
Okay.
Which means we'll have it before the public hearing
Okay,
on the bond issue. So we will, but right now they said we can go forward with the
The $500,000.
the $500,000 total project cost,
right,
but the 400,000 for the
Right,
bond
yeah.
issue. Yeah,
okay.
and they didn't have any reason why that wouldn't work.
The armoring again is gonna go below the dam?
It's on the grass,
Mhm.
earthen area
Mhm.
on either side of
On
the
either
bridge.
side.
On the
Okay.
front and the back,
Okay,
on both sides
okay.
of the dam.
Doesn't really interfere with the beach.
No, it doesn't impact the beach at all, and in fact, the impact is gonna be during construction,
Mm-hmm.
because when they get the block installed, they're
Mhm.
gonna cover it with sod, with
Mhm.
dirt and
Mhm.
sod, and you won't see it.
Okay.
I know, Chris, you had expressed some thoughts that whole area looks pretty shoddy these days, the bridge and the rest.
Mhm.
Well, are there should we be budgeting some additional funds to if we're gonna go to spend that money, should we, take a look at,
Right now, the contingency, we
Upgrading it?
talked to the engineers about upgrading the bridge decking,
Right.
and we are gonna have to replace the rails of the bridge,
okay,
because they have to be breakaway rails. So there's gonna be some different,
rails.
when the water comes up, it has to be able to wash the railings away. The way they are, believe me, I agree with you, Bill, 100%.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But-
That's
but
a hell of a flood.
Otherwise it
Well,
restricts flow.
Otherwise, it restricts flow
So they
and
can
it
get caught in the
increases,
culvert.
Yeah.
it, well, no, it increases the impoundment of the dam in their calculations. So it just needs to be able to be washed away easily.
Okay,
But that's actually a good thing because that's gonna allow us to redo those railings. And we will meet all the codes, health and safety codes, and there's enough contingency. We talked about that specifically, and right now there's enough contingency monies. But if their cost estimate comes back different on January 19th, we may add some money to that.
we'll
Yeah,
see what
to
it is
address
on
those
January
sorts of
19th.
The,
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
sign needs
They're gonna
to
give us the sign, all
needs
of
to be
that stuff
repeated
is
too.
gonna
That's
be,
kind of peeling away,
Which-
so,
that's
yeah.
gonna be in a separate pot of money,
Yeah.
but we do have money for
Yeah.
that.
okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yes, we are gonna address that. So, but yeah, it was very positive, and even the DES people were pretty, positive in what
And they said we could wait.
And they said that we can wait until after town meeting to sign
Okay,
the AO.
Okay, I
like I
feel
said.
better about that.
I do,
Yeah.
right.
No, it's good, and they're doing that because we've made the commitment to put the warrant article on, so.
Right, yeah, there's nothing we can do anyway in the
No.
interim, so
Right.
it's just a
Right.
official.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay. Any correspondence? Art?
Nothing,
Okay. Privilege of the floor too?
Mm,
No?
not seeing any.
Board concerns and directives?
not by me.
No? Okay. All right, do we need any non-public?
No, not any non-public, but I'd like to continue workshop-wise and talk
Sure.
about the CIP.
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn the regular selectmen's meeting.
I will second that.
Okay,
All in favor?
all right.
All right. Okay.